Mexico will pay for the wall, okay? Believe me.
Today, the department is submitting to Congress our plan for finally closing the facility at Guantanamo once and for all.
Promises, promises, promises. All politicians make promises. That's what campaigns are all about. But those vows are often broken. That doesn't necessarily mean they lied. Sometimes things change, and what sounds right on the stump doesn't make sense later. Big promises, including broken ones, are not new. In 1916, 2 years after Europe became engulfed in a bloodletting like the world had never seen, Woodrow Wilson ran for re-election. His campaign slogan, "He kept us out of war." The implicit promise is he's going to do that again. What actually happened is this. 34 days into his second term, Wilson signed the declaration of war against Germany. More than 4 million Americans were mobilized. More than 100,000 died. While campaigning in 1964, LBJ declared, "We are not about to send American boys 9 or 10,000 miles away from home to do what Asian boys ought to be doing for themselves." On March 8, 1965, less than 2 months after Johnson was sworn in, 3,500 U.S. Marines landed at Da Nang, the first U.S. combat troops in South Vietnam. 3 years later, there were 548,000 U.S. troops in Vietnam, and 30,000 had already been killed. George H.W. Bush made a catchy pledge at the 1988 Republican National Convention. Very, very memorable. Only 6 words long.
Read my lips.
Didn't last. Spending levels and budget shortfalls pushed President Bush to compromise with Democrats and raise some taxes, including luxury taxes on things like yachts and expensive cars. H.W. Bush's simple line is credited with helping him defeat Michael Dukakis soundly in 1988, and then helping him lose to Bill Clinton in 1992. Then you have to remember presidential politics has attracted some, well, unusual, if not wacky, promises too, and it wasn't always clear if the candidate was serious. But here are 3 worth noting. Gabriel Green, founder of the Amalgamated Flying Saucers Club of America, ran for president in 1960, promising to usher in the world of tomorrow and utopia now. Retired farmer Connie Watts also campaigned in 60, promising to, quote, "keep them vine-ripened stickers off of them mushy green tomatoes." Commentator Alan Karuba ran in 1988 and promised to name Vanna White, a Wheel of Fortune, to a high position because she's the only person I know who negotiated a $1 million contract just for turning letters.
You try it. It won't work. Only I can do it.
That's ridiculous. Of course it is.
Today, as presidential cycles have become kind of never-ending affairs, you're guaranteed to hear some version of, "If elected president, I promise I'll..." Some you're going to believe, some you won't. That's a promise.